In a far-off land, there was a wise old sage who lived in a small village. He was renowned for his wisdom, and people came from far and wide to seek his guidance. One day, a young man came to him seeking enlightenment. The sage asked the young man what he was seeking, to which he replied, "I want to know the secret of life." The sage took the young man to a nearby mountain and showed him a salt crystal. "Do you see this crystal?" he asked. "Yes," replied the young man. "This crystal is the secret of life," said the sage. "It is pure and perfect, but if you were to put it in water, it would dissolve and disappear. Life is like this crystal, it is pure and perfect, but it is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever, and we must learn to accept this." The young man was confused by the sage's words. "How can something pure and perfect disappear?" he asked. The sage smiled and said, "Let me show you." He took the young man to a nearby lake and asked him to take a handful of water from the lake. "Now look at your hand," he said. The young man looked at his hand and saw that the water had slipped through his fingers. "What does this mean?" he asked. "It means that life is like the water in your hand," said the sage. "It is impermanent and ever-changing. We must learn to accept this and appreciate the beauty of each moment." The young man still did not understand. "But how can we find peace if everything is impermanent?" he asked. The sage smiled and said, "We can find peace in the present moment. We can find peace in the beauty of nature, in the laughter of children, in the embrace of loved ones. Life is full of moments of joy and sadness, and we must learn to appreciate each one." The young man thought about the sage's words and began to understand. He realized that life was not about holding on to things, but about letting go and enjoying each moment. From that day on, the young man spent his days walking in nature, spending time with his loved ones, and appreciating the beauty of each moment. He found peace in impermanence and lived a life filled with joy and happiness. The sage smiled, knowing that he had helped the young man find the secret of life. He watched as the young man walked away, knowing that he had learned the most important lesson of all, to find peace in impermanence. The lesson learned from this story is that life is impermanent and constantly changing. We must learn to accept this and appreciate the beauty of each moment. We should not cling to things or try to hold onto them forever, but instead, find peace in impermanence. By focusing on the present moment and finding joy in the little things, we can live a life filled with happiness and contentment. Thank you for watching. May you have peace and prosperity, and may all your wishes come true.